I just spilled water everywhere. Oh my god, I'm so I've been kind of playing Magic the Gathering on and off with my friends for the past couple months, and I finally decided to build my own actual deck, For the last while, I've been using one of my friend's custom decks, and it's been really fun. I either run Prismatic Bridge or some Eldrazi lady. I don't really know. Prismatic Bridge is fun, but it plays a lot around gods and devotion. So it was pretty slow games, which also led to me being able to get a lot of monsters on field the millisecond Prismatic Bridge was up. So I kind of wanted to do that with my deck, which led me to settle on Animar, Soul of Elements. Now, if that's like something you recall or something that rang a bell, the name alone, apparently it's a fairly recognizable card in the scheme of Magic. See, I wanted to build a token slash counter deck, and I thought, well, let me just look that up. And Animar was pretty high up on that list. I read his abilities and I thought, you know what? That sounds really cool. Let me uh let me pick him. Little did I know, this would actually bite me in the ass and literally paint the target on my back. See, Animar has the effects of protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Animar, and this is a separate ability now. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1/1 counter on Animar. So, in layman's terms, the more counters on Animar, the cheaper all of your other summons become. Which is, pretty stupid because he also gets stronger with the more counters on him. So it's just a win-win. That is my guy. He also looks pretty cool. I might throw him up on screen. We'll see. So this got me really excited. I started brewing it. I honestly, it took me a while. I looked through every single card individually. I also maybe this is like too far. Oh, there's or log on. But I decided that I would, for every single card, I'd look at a few and decide which one I want out of those few, and that's how I would do it. So it was a bit of a time-consuming process, but I have ended up with a deck with, I think, nearly every card that I looked at and is in my deck. Most of them synergize into one another, which is literally what you want. Like, I'm no stranger to card games. I'm a stranger to Magic. I'm very strange. I was using a few sites. I was switching between a few to get all these cards. And, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw a few that were really interesting, but they seemed very overpowered. They ran Annihilate, which basically just means you make someone exile a bit of their library just for the funsies, which is kind of a shitty thing. But I thought, hey, you know what? This card has another effect that I really wanted to abuse, where I could, upon that card's death, I would shuffle my graveyard back into my library. So it's this Eldrazi Titan card, and it has the ability to shuffle my graveyard back into my deck when the card dies, the Eldrazi Titan. I believe that's what he's called. And I thought, that's pretty sweet. I have another card that it's a spell card that puts all my artifacts back into my hand. So if I use that spell, put all my artifacts back into my hand, and then, whoa, this guy looks really cool. Then, if I get the Titan dead, like if that Titan dies at any point, I get that spell card back. But more importantly, because I've taken all of my creatures off field, now if I start with the cheapest ones, I can play them again, and then that increases the tokens on Animar, or the counters, sorry, which makes him infinitely more powerful, which is really fucking cool. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I'm also just really quickly gonna hop in Gurren, and then we can continue what we're talking about. How did I spill more water on me? This glass is like cursed. Someone could have a notch in it or something. I don't know, man. So it's safe to say that Animar gets fairly powerful the more guys you summon. Now, another card that intrigued me was this card called Helm of the Host. And basically what it does is it's an equipment, and if I put it under a card and equip it, every single combat phase I get to create a duplicate of the card that he is under, except it's not legendary, which doesn't really matter. So basically, every single turn I get a brand new Animar who, if I summon new people, he also gets tokens added to him, and then I can use him to make cards even cheaper combined with my first Animar. Now, there's always going to be a discrepancy in who has how many tokens, right? Or counters, sorry. I'm constantly getting those confused. Everybody at the table is so frustrated. That's not true. They love me. But I thought that was a pretty neat synergy. I actually got it working on my second game with the Animar deck. Immediately, the main guy, my bestie, my home diggity dog, Lukey Pookie Shooky Pawookie, he immediately is like, "Hey man, what's that equipment under Animar?" And I explain the effect, and suddenly to my left and to my right, I see eyes just laser focus me, and I think, you know what? This isn't the best start I could have gotten, but I can make this work, you know? It's a new deck, it's really strong. Again, I've built most of this with the intention of making it like incredibly good for ramp. But you can only do so much when you're being targeted by three people. Like it is not an easy game to pull off. So I last maybe two or three more turns after this has been acknowledged. And I didn't have good token generation that turn, that round. So I couldn't really block out of everything. But for what they were throwing at me, I totally could have blocked. But something just possessed me to say, no, take the damage. It'll be okay. So I take the damage, and suddenly I'm on 1 HP. And this is where things get genuinely wicked. I'm sitting there, 1 HP, and I drew this card. I think it might have been Vorinclex, which is a token doubler. And I was just praying that I could make something happen. Everyone on the table's turn ends. It comes back around to me. I don't draw a forest. I needed like one more green mana, and it just was not there. So I couldn't summon the Vorinclex. And at this point, I'm starting to see the worry. Uh-oh. Lost Seer's Lens. Oh no. That's not ideal. I pass my turn, and I decide to take the damage that has been thrown at me. It was only 8 damage, but it was 8 commander damage, and my like my not commander HP was on 7. And I thought, oh well, it's commander damage, so you know I should be good. So I go to the phone where we have the little app for the HP counters, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I click out of it. Yippee! I should be, you know, able to survive one more turn if I can just get like a HP skill or something going on. Commander damage and normal HP are linked. I did not know this. So yeah, I got hard targeted in my second ever match with Animar. In my first ever match with Animar, things actually went surprisingly well. Um, my buddy Luke, who was making a bunch of custom decks, he made this deck around a frog named Flubs, and it is 70, 80 cards of just land, and his only creatures help in land draw. And I know this man pretty well, you know. I can read him like the Bible. I understand what's going on. So I knew that even though he swore that there was only one monster in this deck and that he was literally just going to draw out and lose, he he was 100% gonna try and wipe us. So It's just kind of a gentleman's agreement, the four of us at the table, that we were just gonna let Luke do his build, see what happens, because you know it's his first time trying it on people, so we'll just let's see what happens. Terrible idea. This is the very first round with Animar. I'm very confident in myself. You know, I think this is really, honestly, maybe even a win. Tee hee, you know? First win with a new deck on the first round play. That's a 100% win rate. I was hyping myself up. I was really feeling it, man. I was so confident. I was getting a little bit cocky, I'm not gonna lie to you. So tell me why this fucker with his 125 mana. I don't know how you get that much, or his 125 land or some shit. I don't know how he gets that much damage, considering there's only 100 cards in your deck, you know? But he has this ability where for every mana for every land he has, he gets 1 damage. And that applies to every monster on his field. He has 3 monsters on his field. There are 3 opponents. You can see where this is going. Uh, block for 120? I don't have that many tokens. Block for 120? I have nothing on my field. And he just wiped us. It was terrifying. You know, I was so confident. Everybody else was so confident. But this maniacal bastard, who we gave the decency, just came out swinging. So his flip stack is dead in the water. I will be hard focusing him from now on. I am a terrible human and I don't care. I don't care. I love it. I love it. Oh, you know what? My R ability is not broken. I just need to hit someone with my shades. For example, if we go to... I don't know where the teleporter is actually. I'm like too big. Too massive. I'm really losing my train of thought here. But yeah, my Animar deck is so good that I got hard focused. And then I made dinner and got food poisoning. That was terrible. I may as well just like finish this stage. You know, it'll be cutesy. Shrine, shrine, shrine. The Wayfarer. Come here, bitch. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. They nerfed me. No! I can't die here. No, please, please, please. Wait! Kamina, save me! No, come here, you fiend. Wait, what if I just... Huh! I will never suffer consequences for my actions. I am a gamer! Boom, bang, bang, beam, bam. Type of shit that you wouldn't understand. I hope that, like, came together well and was a cool edit.